Hey everyone. You're probably wondering why I haven't created any new YouTube videos lately. I've been asking myself the same question. It just feels like there's so many things happening in this world right now that has our constant attention, at least my attention. I'm always watching the news. I'm also always watching videos on TikTok because I feel like for some reason, like the platform just feels so much less censored than our actual media, if you know what I mean. What?
No, I think we should. What the fuck is going on your desktop? That is ridiculous. All right, so she has. I don't know if this is a designer thing, but she has like over 100 overlapping images on her desktop.
Files.
It's really bad. It's like somebody took glitter and threw it on her desktop. That's pretty much what it looks like.
That's what my brain looks like. I'll show you guys a screenshot later.
It's terrible. So anyway, what I was going to say is for this topic, I'm working on like coming up with a personal branding authority thing, what influencers do. It's really hard because if you've ever written anything, you have to come up with a hook. And for those who don't know what the hook is in writing, it's something that's interesting because the first thing that anyone's going to care about is what the hook is. It's why should I care? Why should I pay attention to this person? So in my hook, it's essentially I'm tapping into the mundane boringness of everyday life, and then I'm pattern breaking it with this is why this is happening, because you're not like focusing on your health and fitness and your routine has become boring and you need to inject some kind of creativity and like, energy into that, and that's going to help with all of that. So that's what I came up with.
I like that.
Yeah.
This is kind of how random our days and nights are looking like these days, where we're still both looking for full-time jobs, but also working on our businesses on the side. So Nate's a former personal trainer, fitness guy, so he has an obstacle course racing program, which I'll link in the description below if you want to check out his stuff. It's really cool. How many races have you done so far?
Oh my god, so I've been racing since about 2012.
So like 20 something races, right? Or more than that?
It's around that. Post-pandemic has been tougher because everything fell apart. But it's around that many.
If you're wondering who this guy is, my boyfriend Nate. Hello. I haven't introduced him to this channel yet. He just randomly walked in here when I was trying to film a video, but this is a good interruption. So yeah, we met in 2021 on Hinge, if you're curious.
Sure.
But anyways, more on that story later.
Do I have to be in this channel?
Yeah, too bad. You walked in.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna work on that, but I think that was the idea of the story that I had. So I was gonna focus on the boring parts. I gotta find out the URL that I had for the other landing page, maybe and then migrate it. I don't know what to do with that.
Lots of technical stuff.
Yeah, so that's fun.
Yeah, so you can find the login information for Pipeline Pro anymore?
No, I haven't. I mean, I forgot what my URL is, so I have to go into IONOS and figure out which, because I basically, I had a URL and I was trying to put it in my Instagram bio, and then I redirected it because I didn't do a custom domain, and then Meta blocked my domain and they flagged it, and I had to buy a new domain. So that was fun. Yeah, so now I forgot which domain is where, and now I have 5 or 6 subdomains, and then I have a funnel that leads into this other domain. This website is separate from my funnel, so they're very different domains with their different purposes.
So you gotta go look for it now.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna migrate it, so I'm gonna have to go through all this again. So it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, see ya. Hey. That was a fun little interruption. Anyway, Pipeline Pro, if you guys have never heard of it, it's a white labeled product. So it's kind of like go high level. if you've ever seen it. I'm using Qlikflow. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. It's also another white labeled product from Go High Level, but I think I'm going to start making some videos on Qlikflow because I really enjoy the platform. It's very complicated, and I kind of had to go in and tinker on the back end, but that's kind of what I love. I love techie things and software and figuring out how things work. So I think that's kind of why I started learning Photoshop, because I wanted to create art. I wanted to create things in Photoshop that I saw other people doing in my early 20s. And, and it's crazy how many years I've been using Photoshop. So now Photoshop has all these generative AI features that I've been kind of tinkering with in the last couple months. So, but yeah, anyway, sometimes I don't even know what to talk about on this YouTube channel anymore. That's why I have not been consistent in creating videos. It's been really weird, I don't know. It's just, there's so many things happening now. And, like all of these layoffs happening with like these tech companies, and like people just, there's a massive amount of people unemployed right now. Like if you don't know, I would read up on LinkedIn and maybe some news media outlets. There's a ton of people like currently unemployed in the tech, marketing, advertising industries, so many other like industries right now. And I'm also like learning from people that I know that they can't even apply for minimum wage jobs, like the entry level jobs, like are not even hiring. Like what? We went from like, the pandemic, doing layoffs in 2020. I got laid off from my last job in 2020. I was working at a creative agency as a creative recruiter. So the funny thing that I never talk about on this channel is that I used to be a creative recruiter. I used to recruit for people like me who have, a background in design, all kinds of creative backgrounds, illustrators, photographers, video editors. So I know the creative industry really well. And so I kind of jumped into recruiting in 2018, while I think maybe I started this YouTube channel a year before that, sometime in 2017. And it just, I was making a lot of videos, and then I kind of just stopped, and then I would pick up like every now and then and make YouTube videos. And I think during the pandemic in 2020, after I got laid off from my last full-time job at the time, I started making a ton of YouTube videos again. I was creating more Photoshop brushes for my shop on Creative Market. At that time, I think I never disclosed how much money I was making on Creative Market, but I think just right before my last full-time job laid me off in 2020, I think that was in May, but like a month before I got laid off, I was like making like maybe like $3,000 a month, just selling templates on Creative Market and Photoshop brushes. And I think at the time I got featured on their newsletter a couple of times, and so people were buying a lot of my digital products on Creative Market. But those things, like I wish I had known at the time that those things just don't last. Like you get on their newsletter, you're popular for a little bit, and then the sales kind of drop off after a while. So I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy like a year into that time frame of making consistent income, and I was able to not have to worry about taking on a job. I had some savings, and some money saved up and just like, and I also wasn't like spending that much time or spending that much money either. I was trying to like kind of balance and watch my spending because I didn't know how long it was going to last. So, um, yeah, so if you like, I think a lot of people were kind of asking me like, how do I sell on Creative Market? I think I don't even have 1,000 followers on my Creative Market shop. So I think I have like around 800 maybe people that follow my shop. But, I just haven't put the focus into creating more products because I felt like I was kind of carved myself in a specific niche. And so it was harder to kind of keep coming up with stuff. I don't know. I just, when I started seeing my sales go down, it kind of unmotivated me to create more Photoshop brushes. And so a lot of people were starting to email me about like, how do I create with these brushes? And so that's kind of why I made this YouTube channel to kind of teach and show people how to use Photoshop, how to create patterns in Photoshop too. Yeah, so, and then 2021, I hopped back into another full-time job, worked with another agency to, take a job as a recruiter again. So I did that from middle of 2021 to about last year, May of 2023. I was with another agency for like a year. So I had worked with 2 agencies between 2021 and 2023. And so I've been unemployed for about a year now. My boyfriend too, you saw him talking on the video earlier. And it's been weird because he was in tech and I was working at a global agency as well. And I wish I had done more to prepare. When he was telling me like, oh, everyone's doing layoffs, I just kind of didn't believe him. Regret that now. And he still tells me like, you should have listened, but I don't know, maybe I'm just hard-headed, but like, I always think that things are gonna get better. But the saying goes like, things will always get worse before they get better. But I don't typically believe that though. I think if you have a pretty good positive mindset that you can attract anything, and if you put really good energy out there into the world, that energy will come back to you. And that's kind of what I believe. And maybe, some people might think that's wishful thinking, but honestly, I've relied on my very good luck over the years of getting work through referrals or, meeting people, telling people about what I do. And I think for me, it's worked out for me in the past. Yeah, it's a weird time and I feel like I'm just rambling and I wish I had more of a point to make across in this video. But I honestly don't. Like, I just wanted to kind of also start the conversation of what are you guys going through? Like, are you experiencing a lot of the things in the economy right now? I know inflation is crazy. I feel like we're, running out of money too. So it's like, like we're trying not to spend and it's hard, and then at one point, maybe a year ago, I was still freelancing. When I got laid off from my agency job, I started freelancing, picking up extra work. I was freelancing with an agency. I did some illustration work, which I don't normally do anymore. It's crazy. But I also was part of the Sheen Artist Pilot Program. So they launched it like maybe last summer and I got to be a part of it. I've licensed some of my patterns to Sheen like back in 2021. And so they had reached out to see if I wanted to participate. And so I did. And it's interesting because they pay you like a flat fee for per design. So you can, I don't know, create up to like 15 to 20 designs. And if they're not within on trend, because they give you like a little trend book, and if it doesn't fit within what, kind of like a creative brief, right? So if it doesn't fit within that trend, so they're not going to choose it. So it was so hit and miss for me because I was doing some, not hand lettered, but like more slogan designs, like, like good things are coming or that kind of thing. And I remember submitting like 20 designs or something, and only one got picked. And so for me, I was just kind of like discouraged, but then I was like, okay, let's do more research. Let's figure out what's trending. And I did some research on other competing sites, and this is kind of like what you have to do. You have to, whatever field you're in, you have to do a little bit of a competitive analysis to see what other, brands are doing. And so I think that's a good idea to start from there and see what like consistent theme is going across. And so that's kind of what I did. I looked at a couple of trending items and tried to infuse my own spin or my own style to incorporate into that trend. So the next batch of designs I submitted to Sheen. I think this was maybe around October. I think 8 of my designs out of like maybe 15 got chosen, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I was starting to get somewhere. And then I had a couple more, and then I think all of a sudden their pilot program I don't know if they're still doing it now, but I haven't checked on it. And then after that, I just started working on, I think, maybe around the fall, I started working on creating my advanced Photoshop course, and I'll link below this video to that course if you're interested in taking it or taking a look. Please feel free to send me an email and ask me questions about the advanced Photoshop course. I would say it's more for surface designers and illustrators who are looking to create seamless patterns. I offer so many different techniques on how to create seamless patterns in Photoshop. I know primarily designers will create the seamless patterns in Illustrator, but I also think it's a lot of fun to create them in Photoshop, and it's so much easier than you think. Anyways, that is for another video. So hopefully I didn't ramble too much in this video that you're kind of like, what? This format is so different. I'm kind of experimenting with a different format for my videos right now. I know you guys are probably used to the very straightforward Photoshop tutorial where I have my intro and everything, and I show you how to do the thing in Photoshop. But yeah, I just want to experiment more with my creativity. I used to do a lot of drawing and illustrations, and at one point over a decade ago, when I went to the Academy of Art, I was creating a comic book that I self-published back in 2011, and I used to go to Comic-Cons back in the day. And so I'm hoping to try to get back into that space, but it's so hard. Yeah, anyways, if you like this kind of format, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, like this video, or if you're like, oh, Diane, you're rambling too much, I hate the format, can you just stick to what you're good at teaching, which is Photoshop, then let me know too. But, my boyfriend was saying, you kind of have to just shake it up sometimes, do something different. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in a rut. And, you know, I go through every day feeling like my life is so mundane. I don't even feel like I create anything fun anymore for myself. So this was kind of a way for me to experiment, trying to get back and create new YouTube videos. But a lot of my day-to-day is kind of like setting up the systems on the back end. I mentioned earlier that I'm using Qlikflow now. It's an all-in-one business software. I am an affiliate, just so you know. And I do have an affiliate link below this video if you do want to check it out. I might be doing some videos on how to use the software in the near future, but it's pretty cool. You can set up an automation on the back end. You can also host your courses. So if you're a creator or you want to create courses for whatever business or industry you're in, it's pretty cool because you can get their unlimited license right now and create unlimited courses. It's got a funnel builder, email marketing system. And the cool thing that I just started experimenting with is the communities feature. So you can literally create a community group. So I have one specifically for my Photoshop course that I have a couple people in there taking the beta course. So yeah, so I will see you next time. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and yeah, keep your head up. Shit's crazy right now. Bye.